not how you count.
We're live, there. What up, what up, what up? Welcome to the Live Game, Season 2, the Divisional Round Weekend. I am your co-host, Marcus. Join me on the panel tonight is Mark. Say what up, Mark.
Good evening.
Brian.
Thank you for joining us.
And Herman.
Hump day.
I just want to say how professional it is to come into the live, still talking, like we,
How professional it is? Yeah.
Unprofessional.
Get it together.
What kind of show this is again? This is the average.
Yeah.
Yeah, the average man perspective of football.
Perspective.
We're not on
football.
NBC yet.
Also,
Hey.
also your favorite, show on YouTube
And soon to be podcast.
and soon to be podcast. Before we get started, I want to encourage everyone to like, share, subscribe, like the channel, share the channel. I'm sorry, share the video, subscribe to the channel, help us get these likes up. Brian, you know what to do.
As soon as you pop it up, it's the Layer Game 3. It's our Twitter handle. Please follow us. You can live tweet the show while we're having it. You can send us questions. We do a lot on Twitter.
All right, so about to review Wild Card Weekend. So let's go ahead and get started.
All right. We also want to give a shout out to Kay and Maury, who are on there already texting. How you guys doing? Thank you for joining the show. The first game we're going to have a conversation about was the first game of Wild Card Weekend. The Buffalo Bills went to the Houston Texans. The Houston Texans ended up prevailing in this game. Let's get into it. Who'd you pick and and how did you do, Mr. Helms?
Are you picking me from? Oh, because what game we talking about? We talking about the
Buffalo and Houston. And maybe we should give it to Mark so that you can put it together.
yeah.
Mark, how did you pick
And he's
this?
talking about being
Right. This guy. This game, I took the Bills Mafia. The Bills Mafia didn't prevail in this one, man. This was a pretty good game, to be honest with you. Bills started out being a little close in the game. Deshaun Watson, what can I say? Oh my God, he broke. I don't know if he just broke that many tackles or it just was poor tackling.
It looked like one guy hit him and the other guy hit him back to stand back up.
It
was crazy.
That's the craziest thing.
But that was the play that basically prevailed them to get him into the field goal range to keep the kick. What can I say? Houston, they did well, they did good, but I chose the Bills and I chose wrong.
Herman?
Yeah. I chose the Bills on this one too. I told you I wasn't going to doubt on the Bills. I felt like they were hot. I didn't feel like Houston was hot going in, but and at first they didn't start off good. I think Houston got up. Was that 16 to?
You mean Buffalo?
Buffalo.
Oh yeah,
Buffalo
was Buffalo was up 16-0. So they they kind of blew the game. It was definitely some poor tackling going on, but Deshaun Watson definitely that was some magic, and he avoided that sack. So hats off to Houston. It just goes to show you that having that home game and winning your division can mean a lot in the wild card.
Yeah, I did pick the Texans on this one. And I ain't gonna lie to you, the way the game started out, I just knew that I wasn't going to be victorious in this pit. I don't know what Josh was doing in the fourth quarter, running the ball and decided to flip it back to nobody. Basically, got lucky that he didn't turn the ball over. He did not play well. And like Herman said, Houston didn't play well coming out. Marcus had me thinking about the coaching the whole time I'm watching the game. And I'm like, he's going to be talking about Bill O'Brien and his poor coaching. And it does seem like Deshaun has to win in spite of his coaching. They also got a big boost with Watt making a big sack down around the goal, within the red zone to make them kick a field goal instead of getting a touchdown. But it was a good game. It was really enjoyable, and I was glad I was victorious. Mr. Helms, are you ready now?
I am ready. So basically co-signing what you guys said. That move Josh Allen made, if the Bills had been favored to win that game, like really favored, and he did that, and like all the odds were on him in Vegas, and he did that, I think he would have been accused of fixing the game. Cause
You think Mobsters would have tried to come back in his legs?
I don't know. But I think the NFL would have definitely investigated him for trying to fix that game because that was just foolish. I picked the Bills for all the reasons we said because I had no faith in. I have every faith in Deshaun and the team. I just have no faith in the coaching staff, and it looked like I was being proven right in the first half. They did manage to come back out in the second half, and it was a tale of two different halves, and they managed to turn around the ship and get going. But I'm still, it seems like I think that I really believe Deshaun has too much to do. It seems like the offensive line is not there. It's like he's always scrambling. He's always running. And I just don't think that they can be successful all the way to the Super Bowl like that, and also with the coaching. I mean, if they play Kansas City next, you can't come out slow like that with Kansas City. So, so that's why I picked the Bills instead of Houston, and I was wrong.
Yeah, and you brought up a good point about that too, because you can tell that the offense is just not as potent without the wide receiver Fuller.
Yeah,
Fuller stretches the field and gives Hopkins a lot more. For the first half, I think Hopkins didn't even catch a ball.
No, he didn't.
Yeah. So I mean, he wasn't having a good game, and for some reason, Bill O'Brien won't stick to the run. But that's a whole nother conversation that we're going to move on from. The next game we're going to have a conversation about is the Tennessee Titans at the New England Patriots. You have to excuse me. I have to don a attire. In this game, the Tennessee Titans did come out prevailing, 20-13 over the New England Patriots.
Huh? I picked the Titans.
Did you?
Yeah. You didn't lone wolf that.
No, I picked the Patriots.
No, I picked the Patriots.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. I ain't never wearing that thing. Thank you. Let's have a good conversation. I feel bad. Look, I think I did. I've been dragging this joint all week. It's too late now. I ain't putting it back on. Yeah. So I'll go first. I picked the New England Patriots. I fell into the lore of the history and the bravado of Gillette Stadium, and I just knew that some way Bill Belichick and Tom Brady were going to figure out a way to at least win this round. I wasn't going to pick them next week, but I did feel like they was going to do it this round. But the New England Patriots defense is really what let them down. I mean, Henry ran up and down the field on them at will.
184 yards.
184 yards. And on the number one defense, I mean, you know what they were going to do. And for you, I mean, I don't even think that rookie wide receiver was really a big factor in this game.
He wasn't.
It was more just Henry running all over him whenever he got ready. So the Patriots lost. They're home, and a lot of questions going on in Patriotville, which we'll get into when we have our hot topics. Marcus, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Who did you pick?
I picked the Tennessee Titans. It was to me, it was pretty obvious they were going to win that game. The Patriots, like I said, all the history and the lore and all that. The fact that they lost that game against Miami. The last week of the season,
and it's a game they needed too.
It's a game they needed. Showed me that they weren't. They just the magic is gone. That was a game they needed to get home field advantage, and they couldn't pull it out. And basically, their offense has been basically piss poor all season. And I didn't see them getting to this point and flipping a switch, and all of a sudden everything was going to come together. I believe the writing was on the wall. Like I said last week, just looking at eye tests. Don't look at the record. Don't look at anything else, stats. Just look at the eye test. The Tennessee Titans were a better team than the Patriots. And that turned out to be true.
You saw how excited the head coach of the Titans was in that game.
I know he should be excited.
He was very excited. Harmon, we kind of got a preview of who you picked.
Yeah, I picked the Patriots too. I mean, I knew that I had a feeling the Titans could pull that off if they ran like the ball the way they did. And when you have a linebacker running the football and they just impose that will to say, we're going to run the ball no matter what, you can't stop that. They could have did it to Price. They probably could have did that to anybody. It was just amazing to sit there and watch it. And the Patriots was changing formations and trying different fronts. None of it worked. I mean, they just said, we're going to run the ball on y'all, and y'all aren't going to stop it. And that's how they beat them, I thought the best part about the game was when Mike Vrabel pulled the Bill Belichick on Bill Belichick.
yes.
Belichick was
the delayed game.
Yes. The loophole.
That was classic.
That will probably be gone by the end of the season.
You won't see that next season, but that was classic. So I picked the Patriots. I picked them.
Mr. Parker. Titans. I chose the Titans on this particular game. run, Derek, run. And this was his birthday too.
Sure was.
He did it on his birthday. I think they had the right game plan against this New England team who really couldn't muster too much offense. I'm gonna have to give a kudos to an unsung hero, and that was their punter. The punts that he put in there pinned New England so many times that they kept them inside their territory, so they weren't able to really get the offense flowing and rolling. But he had some wonderful punts that just pinned New England and gave them long field,
especially that last one.
Yes, and it made a difference. It really made a difference. But they played keep away from Tom Brady and the Patriots, and that was a good game plan. I think it read somewhere that Vrabel was like 5-0 against them.
I don't think
he ever played
that many times. Yeah, but he might be.
He might as not just a coach, but as a player and a coach combination.
He played for the Patriots.
He played for them.
Yeah, but he was traded to the.
He was traded.
He knows.
Okay.
You know he played for first.
Yeah,
he played with Steelers first.
Okay.
Then he went to Kansas City. Then he went to New England.
No, he went
to
New
England
and
then Kansas City. Yeah.
Did they win? Did he win those games when the Steelers played against the Patriots?
I don't know.
I doubt it.
I would say that's a dude.
But I took the Titans and they were victorious.
Well, speaking on Mark's point about that last punt, it was like any other game. You would have felt like, oh, Brady got some time. He's walking down the field. He's going. You didn't feel that at all.
They left him too much time.
Yep. I didn't feel that at all watching this game at all. I was like, oh, this game over.
So I mean, in general, do you really feel like that this year? I mean, remember Brady, Breeze, and Rodgers? You always felt like that. I mean, this year,
Brady, the stat was, since 2002, it's been Peyton Manning, it's been Tom Brady, and it's been Ben Roethlisberger. None of those are quarterbacks.
But I mean, just in general, like remember before, even like last year.
This year, you didn't feel that way.
It just feels, it felt kind of different this year, where you weren't feeling like that. Like,
I still think you feel that way about Rodgers.
Do you?
Yeah. As of late, their offense has gotten kind of back on track. So,
all right. So we're going to keep it moving, and we're going to have the next. Those were the two Saturday games. This was the first Sunday game. The Minnesota Vikings against the New Orleans Saints. In my opinion, the best of the 3 games of the 4 games in the weekend. The Minnesota Vikings miraculously pulled this out, 26-20 in overtime. Marcus's best friend.
How they win it in overtime? Who threw
Kirk Cousins.
You like that?
Threw a touchdown to the tight end in the corner of the end zone, even though he pushed off. That's a whole nother conversation. And they sealed that victory, sending Drew Brees and crew home. In this particular game, Herman, who did you have?
I picked the Saints. I didn't have any faith in the Vikings to go into the Dome and beat the Saints. The Saints looked bad. They were really off their game. Taysom Hill, is that how you say it?
Mm-hmm.
He was the biggest spark for the Saints in the game. And it almost made you wonder, like, are you seeing the last of Breeze? Because, Breeze is a free agent this year, which, we'll get into that, and I'm sure in a future show. But it was just the Saints just weren't on their game. And I'll say that to say that Minnesota's defense was. They had the answers for them. And they employed their run game too. Dalvin Cook was huge.
Yes.
In this game, and they kind of played the keep away game too. So, I picked the Vikings. I picked wrong.
Yeah, in this particular game. Matter of fact, I think we all are going to probably say the same thing where we picked wrong. Nationally, I don't think anybody gave the Vikings a chance. Matter of fact, out of all these games, that would have been my lock of the week, that the Saints would have been marching on and the Vikings would have gone home. But the Vikings defense put on a show. Like Herman said, I mean, Drew just was not Drew. He wasn't getting into Michael Thomas like he normally does. They would never really let the running game develop in this one. The coach of the Vikings, he basically just outcoached them defensively, and just put on a show. And like Herman said, the Vikings ran the ball hard, and Kirk had some timely passes. The deep throw to Thielen to get them down there to win in overtime. I mean, that was a thing of beauty, that you can't take away from Kirk.
Yeah.
He really threw that ball well. So I picked New Orleans and I picked it wrong. Mark, who did you have?
Yeah, I chose the Saints also in this one. I think, like you said, Dalvin Cook ran the ball real well against them. they played keep away, of course. I think the turning point in this game to me was when Brees threw an interception when they had momentum. Kind of took a little bit of that momentum sail out of it. The long play to Thielen was a perfect call because the Saints cornerback had went down with an ankle injury. So they had their backup in there, and they attacked him and went out right after him. I do think that daggone touchdown at the end was a pass interference. They so-called say every touchdown is reviewed, but I think he gave him a shove before he caught that ball. But the Saints didn't seem like they were the Saints really to me, man. They didn't have that explosive. They did give Tyson Hill a little bit more opportunity. He threw a pass, a long pass in that game.
Yeah, a 50-yard pass.
Yeah. So
if he had thrown it a little further, dude would have walked into the end zone.
It would have been touchdown. Yeah. So like you said, we might be seeing the reins kind of change here depending on what Brees decide to do in the near future. But I took the Saints and I chose wrong.
All right, Mr. Marcus, the floor is yours. How did you feel about Kirk's performance?
You like that?
First of all, let me all Kirk Cousins has done by beating the Saints is he done hoodwinked people. Okay, he hoodwinked, he led astray. Okay, he didn't land on Plymouth. He didn't land on Plymouth Rock Angel hit. Okay, it's some BS. I definitely picked the Saints. Like you said, I don't think anybody nationally, outside of Minnesota, actually picked the Vikings to win this game. It's the biggest thing is I think also that Alvin Kamara, he wasn't much of a factor in this game. It seems like since Mark Ingram left, he hasn't done much this season. Maybe he needed Mark Ingram there to offset him and make him play better. But one of the key players, besides Brees and Michael Thomas, Alvin Kamara wasn't having the same year they had, the same game they had. So, it is what it is. I just feel like this should have been the Saints year. Matter of fact, I think I picked the Saints to go to the Super Bowl. And once again, officiating just robbed them of their playoff hopes. So, because that was definitely an offensive pass interference.
Yeah, it was not.
It was. Definitely.
They were hand checking it.
They were right.
I ain't gonna lie, he did extend his arm, and the dude did jerk back a little bit. But in that, I'm glad that the refs kept their.
I'm gonna tell you why I think that they didn't call it, because if he doesn't kind of get him off of him, push him off, then it's going to be a penalty flip the other way. It better have been, because he's face guarding the receiver, and he never played the ball. So when you look at it both ways, they were hand fighting.
They were.
It's a no call type situation. It really is, because like I said, had he not caught it or had he not pushed him off, he was definitely face guarding. And that should have been a penalty.
And here's another question: you think if the ref would have called it a pass interference, you think they would have overruled it?
No,
they wouldn't have.
I think they've
thrown the flag. I think either way it would have called
whatever was called on the field.
I think so too. Yeah.
But it's funny. Like all the old referees that are with all the TV stills, all of them said it was a pass interference.
Yeah, they all did. But it's funny to me because I guarantee you on the field they would have not called it, and they wouldn't have reviewed it either.
What's also funny too is depending on the angle that you saw. From the back of it, it really doesn't. You don't see his arm extend from the back. You really don't see it. But you watch it from another angle, you can see the arm extend. So it really depends on what angle you saw it from.
And that went directly to New York. New York decided that we're not going to turn this over. Just real quick before we get off of this, the New Orleans Saints. A lot of the television shows are talking now how Brees and Peyton have really done nothing. They had one Super Bowl. But they spent years. There were a few years. They were 7-9, didn't make the playoffs, and they're trying to say that the Saints situation now is just like the Packers situation with McCarthy. Because basically McCarthy had a Pro Bowl quarterback and only won one Super Bowl. Same thing with Peyton, but it's like Peyton and them get a pass for some particular reason because they love each other or something. But you just wonder about that.
Well, I do know this much since. Drew Brees lost a playoff game to Kirk Cousins. he needs to. He doesn't need to be a first round Hall of Famer. He needs to wait 1 year. He needs to wait 1 year. That's punishment. No more first round Hall of Famer for you, buddy.
Which say he ain't getting in the first ballot.
No.
Take away all the touchdowns, all the statistics, all that crap don't matter.
That's right. He needs to wait 1 year. What extra year?
The fifth Beatle says it was pass interference.
And he's right.
Agree.
It was
agree.
pass interference.
I don't agree.
All right, so we're going to finish up the wild card weekend with the final game on Sunday night, which was the Seattle Seahawks traveling to the Link to battle the Philadelphia Eagles. In this game, the Seahawks ended up winning 17-9. Not a really exciting game. Carson Wentz went out in the first quarter with a concussion from Clowney. Seahawks did okay. I mean, they had a nice couple big plays. What's the wide receiver? 14. DJ Metcalf had a very good game.
Metcalf.
DJ or DK?
I think it's DK.
Looked like a Superman. Honestly, that dude's huge. Nonetheless, Russell Wilson did what he had to do. They did come out victorious. I was correct in my pick in this one. I did go with the Seahawks. Mark, who did you have?
I was correct in this one too. I went with the Seahawks. Russell Wilson, another quarterback who, I mean, he was running it for his life in this one. He was doing a lot of running around. But for the Eagles fans, they're crying Bloody Murray. I think it was I don't think it was an illegal hit at all. I thought everything was good. It was incidental contact. I think everything was fine on it.
You know, the biggest thing, real quick, with that hit, I want the Eagles fans or any other fan that feel like that was an illegal hit. If that wasn't Carson Wentz, if that was the running back, would they still be complaining about that hit?
Yeah,
because he was a running back at that time.
Just to piggyback, you need to be mad at your quarterback
for not
being stupid and not slide. Because if you watch the game, Russell Wilson slid the entire game.
Yes.
And I mean,
he get like 3 yards and slide
before they would even get close to him.
Russell Wilson has mastered the slide.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he was a baseball player.
I was just saying, he's the most sliding quarterback I've ever seen in my life.
Absolutely, but he's also on the field all the time.
He's smart.
Exactly.
So the Eagles fans need to be mad at their dumb quarterback. Point blank, period.
And also, I agree with Brian, man. Metcalf had a monster game, man. He was catching everything. He pretty much was thrown to him. The Eagles, I kind of felt a little bad for Josh McCown. He was crying at the end of the game.
Yeah,
he really wanted to win it.
But was it more because he didn't, or just because he thinks like this is probably his last game? I just think
this probably was his last opportunity.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. And he let him down. He felt as though he let the team down. I thought that was very, very interesting. But I took the Seattle Seahawks and they were successful.
They shouldn't have got rid of Nick Foles. Nick Foles would have won the game.
You know what? Since you said that, Marcus, who did you pick in this game?
Well, I tell you, I picked Seattle. But let me say this about Eagles and Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz, there's a director out there called M. Night Shyamalan. Sixth Sense and all his movies are based in Philadelphia. That's where he's from. Well, Carson Wentz needs to be in this new movie, about Mr. Glass. That's what that should be Carson Wentz's new name, Mr. Glass. Because that dude stay hurt,
He does.
That dude stay hurt. And pretty much
always at the critical time. I mean, this time at least he made it to the playoffs before he gets hurt. Like
one quarter into the playoffs.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations, Carson. You made it farther than you ever made it before. One quarter into the playoffs.
Next year you'll be able to get to two playoffs.
Yeah, 2 quarters, man. You get to 2 quarters next year. I mean, at that point, you pretty much, even though Seattle wasn't doing anything spectacular, you pretty much figured it was over at that point. I mean, you weren't going to get any magic from Josh McCown like you did Nick Foles.
But you know what the Eagles did do is they played defense, and Fletcher Cox was ridiculous. That dude was in the backfield every play. He was knocking that center everywhere, which way but loose. I'm out the center. I would have went out that game. Like, this big dude, they gonna keep putting me on my ass on national TV. Okay, I'm not gonna keep dealing with this. And they were a mass unit, and they were still in this game. They were still in this game.
Was that because Seattle just wasn't?
I think it's coaching. I think I got to give the Eagles. I mean, you had your backup 50-year-old quarterback. And the Seahawks couldn't stop the run game to save their life. Yeah, they could not stop the run game to save their life.
I agree.
They're running. and they still found a hole.
I agree. It was coaching. I think Doug Peterson. You can't deny
You
it.
have to give him his props. I mean,
you gotta give props because he made it to the playoffs with practice team people and 4th or 5th round wide receivers
and a really easy schedule at the end.
Yeah, he did. He absolutely did.
Everybody played 4 games at the end.
You know who? Also too that I meant to throw this out there when the Patriots were playing. You know, everybody kept going on and on about the Patriots being 12-4. You know who they beat? The NFC East and the AFC East and one other team because they did lose to the Bills once.
Yeah.
I lost to Miami, and it was one other team that sucked too that they beat. Oh, the Steelers. The Steelers.
I don't know if I don't know for sure, but I think the only playoff team they beat was the Bills.
I think you might be right, Mark.
You are right, Mark.
Yeah, so and
the Eagles. The Eagles made the playoff.
Okay, so they beat but every other playoff team they played, they lost to. So,
you know. All right, Herbert, go ahead and finish us out on this one.
Yeah, of course I picked Seattle. Cry, Eagles, cry. Man, I'm so glad to see the Eagles get out of the playoffs.
Amen.
I don't like to see Carson Wentz get hurt, but yeah, he's overrated in my opinion. The dude's not smart enough yet. He's not smart enough to protect himself. First of all, you know, he dove forward for 1 yard, 1 or 2 yards, and he lost his team the game because they probably would have beat Seattle had he stayed in the game.
They would have had a much better chance, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely a much better chance. But you know, I expected Seattle to do a lot more. Russell Wilson was the leading rusher.
Yeah, and they never got beast mode going.
No, but they said they are going to try this week. But if Seattle had,
they want to do it against San Francisco.
If Chris Carson hadn't got hurt for Seattle,
yeah,
it would have totally different.
That's true.
It wouldn't even have been that close.
That's true too.
So it went.
Is the guy now? He's with their 4-string quarter running back.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because they lost like 3 or 4.
Yeah, they lost all 3.
Turbin back.
Yeah,
but they lost Penny, Carson, and they had lost another guy earlier in the season. I forget his name.
Yeah, so
but yeah, I picked the Eagles.
And good job, Russell.
Hey, one other thing too, you know they're reviewing the hit the tackle. You know they may be possibly finding.
They're gonna find
clowning for him.
But I don't think they're gonna eject him. They're probably not gonna suspend him game.
Yeah,
he'll get fined.
May get a fine.
They get fined all the time.
Even that, I don't think it's
not
going to
game,
because if the guy's a runner and you hit him.
Right, but it happens.
All right, so we finished up with Wild Card Weekend. How did everybody do?
I was 1-3.
2-2.
2-2. Goddamn Patriots.
Damn
so
Buffalo.
We're going to get into some of the hot topics real quick, and then once we get through the hot topics, we'll go through our
division round.
Thank you. Divisional round picks. A lot's been going on right now with the coaching in the NFL. Majority of the teams have found their new head coach. The only team still out there is Cleveland, who did a bunch of interviews. They interviewed Eric Bieniemy, Greg Roman, Robert Saleh. They just met with Jim Schwartz. And then on Friday, I believe they're supposed to be talking to McDaniels. They claim they're going to hopefully have a head coach by Saturday. But the one good thing about Cleveland waiting is that they have their, a lot of options available to them. Hopefully they can pick the right one. But some of the teams that have picked their head coaches will start off with the Carolina Panthers, who decided on a college coach, Matt Rule. Matt Rule is actually younger than all the people on this panel. 44 years old. He was born in 75. He got a 7-year contract, which is phenomenal for a college coach, let alone just a regular head coach. $62 million and has incentives that can possibly make it go up to $70 million. He got his coaching start. He just came from Baylor. Changed that program around.
He changed Temple around.
He changed Temple around. He was with the Giants back in 2012 under Coughlin. He had ties with them, and the Giants really wanted him, but the Carolina Panthers were very aggressive. I mean, they met him right off. He got off a vacation, spent time with his kids, spent time with his family, offered him this phenomenal deal, and he was still polite enough because he had a interview with the Giants, I think on Tuesday,
the
following day or so. And he asked the Giants, said, "Hey, they offered me this. Are you guys willing to match it?" The Giants weren't. So,
well, the Giants told him to come in. But he said, "I'm not coming in unless you tell me you're gonna match this." And so therefore, he never showed up to the Giants. But they asked him to come in to talk, but he didn't want to come in and talk.
So, what do you guys think? Good, bad?
Don't know really. I mean, it's always.
Do you like it? Do you hate it?
I'll say that they got the hottest name
Absolutely.
out there.
He was on everybody's list.
If it wasn't him, it was Lincoln Riley. But he was supposed to be on everybody's list. So, I mean, credit to him for turning around Temple and Baylor. But college is different to turn around college than it is to turn around an NFL program. There's no money involved in college. You just have to present a good program to a kid and his parents and get them to commit to you. But he did do that, and he has NFL experience. I didn't realize he was with the Giants before.
Do we know what position he was with the Giants?
Oh, we don't.
Okay.
I don't even know if he's an offensive guy or a defensive guy. But for the
I believe he's an offensive guy.
For the Panthers, this might be a good pick, and in my opinion, I think they need to start fresh. I think they need to move on from Cam. I'm not saying that the quarterbacks that are on their roster right now are the ones, but if you're going to pick a quarterback, this is probably the draft to do it in. And if I'm the coach and I'm starting with a new team, I'm going to go down with the quarterback that I'm married to.
Well, the nice thing about that is that 7-year deal gives him the leeway to make that decision, to figure out, hey, is Cam my guy? Is Kyle my guy? Do I need to get a guy? They're giving him time. They're saying, look, we have faith and we trust you to bring this, franchise back to where it's supposed to be. And we understand that this is going to be a 3-year process, or a 2-year process, that it's going to take a little time for you to figure out what you need to do. So that 7 years is unprecedented.
But that's why it's a long contract.
Yeah.
There are some can't miss quarterbacks in this draft.
Yeah.
So
and they do have the seventh pick.
Yeah, that's
so that would pick. But then the ones that can't miss, they probably gonna have to move up.
Not necessarily. When you look at the teams that are above,
because of the need
above them, right?
Yeah.
Like people aren't taking.
So they could get a quarterback.
They could get one of the top.
Fall into their lap.
Yeah.
I'm just intrigued that they made him the 6th highest paid quarterback. I'm just intrigued that to me, he hasn't proven anything yet, and they gave him a 7-year deal. I don't know. It's kind of like one of those things, much like when Gruden signed his 2-year deal. It's kind of like you don't have to wait and see.
Yeah, you are.
You're going to see what's going to have to come out of it.
I think the 7-year deal is to give him a comfort level. He doesn't have to come in there and turn things right around, worried about his job. You got time to build. That says, hey, you got time to build. We don't expect you to, turn things around in 1 or 2, 3 seasons. You get some people in there you want, do some drafts, and get the personnel you want. And you got time. We believe in you.
I don't know though. If I'm an owner, I don't know. I probably would give a guy a 7-year deal, but I'm not waiting 5 years for you to turn my program around. This is the NFL. I can't wait that long.
Okay, well, turn around. That's what, making the playoffs. What is turning around?
Yeah, I'm hiring you to bring a championship in.
Yeah, every coach gets hired to bring a championship in. It doesn't happen.
I want you in the playoffs. I want you in the playoffs at least by your 3rd year at the latest. In all honesty, I want you in the playoffs.
I agree with that.
I might want you in the playoffs your 2nd year, depending on how much talent I have on the team.
True.
So,
Dallas.
We'll get to them.
All right, yeah, we will get to them eventually. The next team we're going to, because the NFC East, the only team that kept their head coach was the Eagles. So we got the New York Giants next, who were a splash and really shocked the whole NFL world.
I don't know if it was a splash. It was a shock, but it wasn't no splash.
Absolutely. They picked Joe Judge. Judge
Who?
is the youngest of the coaches that got hired.
I think that's what everybody's saying is who.
He's 38 years old.
38 years old. He was with the Patriots. He was special teams and the wide receivers coach. He had been with Belichick for a few years. Belichick is actually the one that was putting his name out there to be saying that he was ready to be a head coach. He had been spending extra time with Judge, trying to groom him saw early on that he had the capabilities of
But
being
he's
a
been
head
assistant
coach.
for like what 15 years or so.
Yeah, because he was also mentored by I'm gonna see if I can.
He was with Saban.
Yeah,
He was with
Nick
Saban
Saban.
also.
Yep.
He had
Alabama.
time with Nick Saban. He was supposed to actually leave when McDaniels had got the job with the Colts.
He's gonna go.
McDaniels was going to take Judge with him at that particular time too. Yeah, back in 2018. But we all know that McDaniels got cold feet and that did not come about. But the biggest thing is like the Giants really wanted somebody from the Belichick squad, and they felt, again with that, handshake and cosign from Bill Belichick that you're getting a good guy is possibly what put him over the top and what made the Giants pick him. So what do you guys think? Good, bad, terrible?
I personally think, I think it's bad because let me tell you why. Because the guy goes from a position coach, skips offensive coordinator, and goes straight to head coach, much like Freddie Kitchens in Cleveland. I mean, there are steps to this. I don't care how much, tutoring or mentorship Bill Belichick had with him. That's a big leap to go straight from position coach to head coach.
You know who else did that?
Who that?
John Harbaugh from
John Harbaugh.
Baltimore.
He was a special teams coach.
So it's a rare thing that happens, but I don't think you get a lot of coaches that are successful from doing it. I just think the Giants went cheap. I don't think they wanted to really spend out or pay out that much, to be honest with you. What's funny is I was listening to Peter King on the radio this morning, and he's well known. He knows quite a few coaches in the league and so forth. When this guy's name was mentioned, he said he couldn't even pick him out in the lineup. He would not have known who this guy was if he'd sold it to him. I'm scratching my head, man. I don't know what the Giants saw or thought they would, and I'm surprised that Josh Daniels.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Wasn't Tomlin just like the secondary coach?
He was, check it. He was a defensive back coach. Then when he left Tampa, because he was with Tony Gruden, then when he left Tampa, he went to Minnesota, and he was Minnesota's defense coordinator.
He was a coordinator then. Okay.
But he only did it for 1 year.
Okay.
How
did that turn out?
Turned out well.
Okay.
I agree with you, Mark. I think they were being cheap because, like you said, why not? If you want somebody from Bill Belichick's coaching line, why not grab Josh McDaniels? Or even better, how about Eric? What's his name? Eric
Bieniemy. Yes.
Yeah, like you would take this guy over those two. It just seems. All I know is I want to see this guy's interview tape because I can learn something from him about how to interview a job. Because he must have really blew that interview out.
He wowed him.
That's what you feel about it.
But did he? I don't understand what the Giants are doing. You see that, and I know you're not going to pick your coach off of what you see other teams do, but the Redskins bring in Ron Rivera. You knew Dallas was hiring Mike McCarthy, and you bring in Joe Judd, and you already got to deal with the Eagles with Peterson. What? I don't get it. I don't understand. It's like Marcus said, he must have had the interview of all interviews. It's either that or basically Bill Belichick certifying this dude just gave him the position. There are way more experienced coaches out there than this guy. It's crazy. It's a reason why he hasn't moved up already.
And just we get more into it too. And all the head coaches took assistants that either been head coaches or been
right now they are
other coordinators throughout the league that already have experience. So that's been a trend with the new coaches so far too. So.
I didn't think anybody could make the Redskins look good.
And he did.
The Giants accomplished that because they make the Redskins pick look awesome at this point. In all honesty, I like the Redskins pick in the first place. I thought going Ron Rivera was actually pretty good. I just don't get it with the Giants. Is he known for developing quarterbacks, because you got the young new quarterback? What? I guess if they're going to beat everybody on special teams.
Well, here's a couple things that you have to understand too, is that when you're a special teams coach, you're the one assistant coach that can talk to the whole team. You talk to offense, defense, special teams like the head coach. Well, you don't talk to the quarterback, but you get up in front of there and you have to address the whole team. And let me ask you this: what type of head coach is Ron Rivera?
Defensive coach.
Defensive.
Okay, what kind of head coach is Mike McCarthy?
Offensive.
Okay, what kind of head coach is John Harbaugh?
He's a defensive guy now. Isn't he more? Well, he's just all around, I guess.
Oh, because he came to special teams.
He's all around.
Okay, but a lot of Harbaugh's success got to do with his front office as well.
True. I mean, but you saying that the Giants? Well,
yeah,
okay,
is bad.
I get that. But that's with any head coach. I mean, with any head coach. I mean, if you don't have a good front office, then you're going to be strong or hard pressed to be a successful head coach. So, I like it. I do like it.
You like it?
I do like it.
Only because it means we're going to keep beating.
No. I'll be honest with you. If the Cowboys had did it, I wouldn't be upset about it. I
Really?
like it. I like it's out of the box thinking. I like the fact that the guy can talk to either one, and I like the fact that you don't know what kind of coordinator he is. He's not going to focus on just the offense and let the defense slide. He's going to take care of everything. And you pay attention to the Patriots special teams has been phenomenal for a long time.
There's things that he's not even close to. Like I listened to Mike McCarthy's press conference today, and he talked about the different approaches to things, and he used things like scheduling. Scheduling your practices and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He don't have any. He doesn't.
But McCarthy didn't have any of that either when he first started.
No, but he moved up, and as you move closer to a head coach position, like when you become the offensive coordinator, you're probably more in on.
Right, but Belichick took time out of his time and groomed this dude. He's been grooming
he's groomed him more than McDaniels.
I think so.
More than his own
I
son.
think so. His own son. His son,
His son is on the defense.
His son's on defense.
Yeah, but he ain't even a real coordinator. He's like
He's
an
assistant.
assistant. Yeah, he's too.
Yeah. I think it's a bad.
I like it.
Time will check.
I think it's a
Time
good time.
Yeah, we'll see next season.
All right, so the next one we're going to talk about very quickly. The Washington Redskins hired 58-year-old Ron Rivera. Ron Rivera was previously with the Panthers. They have actually already hired their defensive coordinator, which is Jack Del Rio, and
We already talked about it.
we did.
Yeah, we talked about it last week.
We talked about them last
We
week.
didn't talk about them hiring their coordinators and stuff.
Yeah, we did. I think
Because they
I
just
have it all written
they
down
just
right
did
there
their
on my
offensive
notes.
coordinator 2 days ago.
Oh, offensive coordinator.
Yeah, I was getting to that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, offensive coordinator Scott Turner, who is the son of
North Turner.
Norvell Turner.
Norvell Turner?
Yeah.
That's his son?
Yes.
Okay.
So Marcus, what do you think?
I mean, like I said, with the Redskins, you got to be, it's a wait and see. I'm not mad, I'm not upset, but I'm not, ecstatic and we're gonna win the Super Bowl. None of that. All I really want from the Redskins is every year when we're talking about who's gonna be in the playoffs. Every year we say, the Patriots gonna be in the playoffs, or the Chiefs gonna be in the playoffs, or Green Bay gonna be in the playoffs. That's all I really want, consistency. Every year when we say who's gonna be in the playoffs, the Redskins gonna be in the playoffs. That's all. You can really ask for. That's all I really hope for. And once he's been there a while and he's shown me that he can do that, then I'll be ecstatic. But right now it's like okay.
Have you guys been seeing the little video they've been showing of Ron Rivera where he's like talking to the team and he's dropping all these F-bombs, trying to motivate them? Like, you guys, they come here and you get hired and you effing this and effing that. They keep going on. Y'all ain't seen that?
No.
It's actually pretty good. He kind of gets you a little motivated, but you want to kind of run through a wall. I hate the fact that the Redskins got Ron Rivera. I think he is a good coach. I don't, again, with Marcus, I'm not saying that he's going to take them to the Super Bowl or anything, but they'll definitely be competitive. They won't be the doormat that we've had for the last few years where we, can already put that W in the box. I think they'll definitely get more competitive. And with Jack Del Rio and the defense that they have, I think they'll definitely be more improved. So I think it was a good hire.
I think he's a good football mind. I do think that, and it seemed to like his discipline. He came from a military background, so that ought to be a positive. And Marcus, believe it or not, he may be able to get Trent Williams back in it.
Oh yeah, I definitely think Trent Williams. They fired the.
So he might get Trent back to you all. So that's a plus.
The only thing is, it's just weird is they decided not to hire a general manager until after the draft. They were going to actually let Rivera run the draft.
Yeah, that's the only little bit of dysfunction with the this whole hire. I think it's a good hire too.
Yeah. All right, so the last, final, and best hire is the NFC East Dallas Cowboys. Hired Mike McCarthy, 56 years old, previously with the Green Bay Packers. They have decided to retain Kellen Moore as offensive coordinator, and they've hired Mike Nolan as DC. How do you guys feel? Happy, sad, good, sad?
Well, once again, at first I didn't know about this one, but I'm feeling better about it more and more. I watched the press conference today. McCarthy is picking his staff, the people that he wants. He's picking some older guys, but they're experienced guys. I just hope that they're not stuck in any oldness of the NFL. But when you listen to McCarthy, and if you get a chance, watch NFL Network, the story that they did on McCarthy, where he's embracing analytics now. Just 3 months ago, Mike McCarthy broke down like all the film of Dak Prescott, and even in the video he shows they show him actually breaking down Dak in parts of the video, and I think that was one of the reasons why he wanted to come to Dallas. It wasn't just that Jerry wanted him; he wanted to come to Dallas. I think it's good. This is what the team needs. They need a good head coach, somebody with experience. I'm wondering if we may be looking at a situation similar to when John Gruden took over Tampa Bay for Tony Dungy. He came in. He did his first year, didn't
he? Yeah.
Took him to the Super Bowl and won it his first year. Dallas has the talent. If they're guided properly, there's no reason why they shouldn't contend for years on end.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Marcus. Just real quick, I'm going to touch on it. But I did hear that report you were talking about the analytics and how McCarthy took some time to really tap into that and go a little bit more deep in that. I think one good plus thing is McCarthy never had a Ezekiel Elliott.
He's never had a running back.
He never had it in Green Bay. He always had to rely on
Eddie Lacy couldn't stop.
Lacy couldn't keep his weight down. I think that's a plus.
I mean, but McCarthy don't like to run no way, or maybe he did.
That's been a dig on him is that he doesn't.
But I think he learns how.
He said in his press conference, he said, we're going to design an offense that makes the quarterback successful. And somebody asked about that. He said, but one of the ways of making that quarterback successful is having a good run game. And he said, we are going to run the football. True.
Yeah, I don't know. I want to be excited. I want to be happy.
So you would have been excited about Joe Judge, but not.
No, not when they first announced it. They first announced it, I'd have blown my head off. But after I did some research and listened to some analytics and listen to some guys about it, I'd have been more comfortable with it. I would have been content if we had got Lincoln Riley. I wanted some younger blood in there, but I understand that Jerry's almost 80 or 90 years old, and he ain't got much time, so he wants to get Super Bowl before he goes away. So this was the safer choice. I think we'll be competitive. I don't know if we're going to be better than we were. I don't know if we're going to be, I don't think we're going to be worse. I think we're going to be a good team. Again, just like the Redskins, I think we're going to be a good team. We're going to be a solid team. I don't think you're going to be able to walk over us, but I don't know if he's the guy that's going to take us to the promised land.
So let me ask you. Would you have been happy if we had somehow finagled and gotten Sean Payton?
Yeah. But to be honest with you,
look at his stats.
Yeah, no, you're right. He has way better stats. His stats are way better than Sean Payton's. And I don't know. I don't know why I got this thing for Sean Payton, but I do. I would have been happier. But you're right. If you look at them statistically, him and Sean, his stats are better than Sean Payton's.
His stats are better.
But again, it did have a couple lean years near the end. A Hall of Fame quarterback doesn't want you to be the coach anymore. It's different. It's different. But I'm hoping for the best, but I can't tell you that I'm jumping for joy or ready to go get my Super Bowl tickets right now.
Well, let me tell you. I'll tell you as a Redskins fan, this does kind of scare me a little bit. I believe Jerry Jones. He picked Mike McCarthy because no matter what you say about the Cowboys season this year, the talent is there. The talent is definitely there. I believe Dak, he broke a franchise record for something this year.
He close. He was
No, he missed
about
about
1 yard.
But yeah. You know, they could have gave him them damn yards. It was like 2 yards or something. They could have gave him it. They
You
did
sound
that.
like the Giants. Michael Strahan. Hey, let me get this sack, Brett
Yeah,
Favre.
but they could have do the ball one time and give it to him. But the talent is definitely there, and I think the reason why Jerry Jones picked him is like, you know, like you said, he's getting older. He doesn't have much time, and you know, really, Mike McCarthy doesn't have to do any building. Everything is there in place for him. He just got to come in there and coach a team, and you know, I believe that they probably, if not win the Super Bowl, I think they'll definitely be in the Super Bowl in the next couple of years. And by the way, if they do win the Super Bowl in the next couple of years, this show will not be airing that next season.
We might live stream.
You know,
we
we might change the name of the show.
Hey, Mark, we never be able to get their hands out.
Yeah.
Their head won't even fit inside the bill, so I don't think we can worry about
Hey,
that.
look, they win Super Bowl. I'm gonna change my name legally.
Yeah, but I actually think it was a very good hire, and you know, I to be honest with y'all, I only think it's an upside for the Cowboys. I mean, like I said, he doesn't have to do any building; the team is there, and just like you said, at least like you said with Tony, John Gruden, and when he came to Tampa, the team was already there. He just had to get him over the hump. And,
Yeah.
so you know,
I just don't see how it could be worse.
No, I don't think it will be worse. I just don't know if it'll be, get there. But we'll see. We'll see. We all until. So we're gonna hurry up. We're gonna talk real quick about this one last topic, which is a topic that's like all over the sports world, and that is what's going on with Tom Brady. Is he going to be a New England Patriot? Is he going to be a Kansas City Charger? I mean, not Kansas City Charger.
Los Angeles
Los
Chargers.
Angeles Chargers.
Move the Chargers.
I just moved the Chargers to Kansas City. Is he going to retire? What's going on? It was a big thing at the end of the season. Everybody's asking. He just put something out on Instagram.
Yep.
Saying that he definitely wants to play again. At the end of last year, once they won the Super Bowl, he was trying to get another contract, and Bill Belichick and the Patriots did not give him an extension, which put him in this area that he is right now. What do you guys think? Does this man play one more year? Does he, do it again with the Gipper, or does he ride off in the sunset, or does he actually, at 42 years old, decide to play for a totally different team?
I'm gonna tell you,
I can see that.
the fact that the Patriots didn't, extend his contract, I think that tells you everything you need to know. A couple years ago, the rumor is that Belichick really wanted to keep Garoppolo in there, and it was only due to Robert Kraft that he got traded out. So he was already looking to move on from Tom Brady. The way Belichick works,
I think so too.
he likes to he'd rather get rid of you too early than too late.
Yeah.
And so I don't think Tom Brady's going to be in New England next year. I do believe he still wants to play. I do believe he will play next year. And and I'm going to say, like everybody else is saying, I believe he'll be with the Chargers. Obviously Phillip Rivers maybe his time has run out over there in Los Angeles. And the major problem I think this season with the Patriots was he just didn't have any talent around him. They had Antonio Brown for like one game and they got rid of him. Then they stopped putting talent around Brady. If he goes to Los Angeles, he'll have nothing but talent around him, and then we'll be able to see once and for all. Can he do it without Belichick, and can Belichick do it without him? I think the writing's on the wall. I think there's no way he's back in New England next year.
You're right. The writing was on the wall at the end of the season.
I disagree. I don't see Tom Brady playing for anybody else, and I'm going to take what Marcus said. There was no talent around him. Robert Kraft is like Tom Brady's like his son. He's going to re-sign him probably for 1 year, and he's going to do a farewell year. And he's going to say probably this is my last year. And the Patriots are going to put talent around him. And the Patriots are going to probably be in the Super Bowl again one more time. Tom Brady is not going to be in another uniform. He doesn't have to go play for another team. There's nothing to prove. He has 6 Super Bowls.
But he's saying that he wants.
He says he has something to prove, but he wants to play for the Patriots. He don't want to go play for nobody else. If he goes to play for the Chargers might not even make it out of the division. You got to contend with the Chiefs. The Chargers have some talent, but no. Tom Brady's not going to go run a whole different system. You're going to have to move that entire system with Tom Brady, and then you're starting over. Like, you're never going to get to the Super Bowl that first year. I just don't see it happening.
Well, to go off what you said, if he goes to Los Angeles, I would be surprised if Josh McDaniels goes with him.
But they have a coach.
Yeah.
As an OC.
As an OC.
They have an OC.
Well, everybody get rid of him.
Nah, I don't see it. I just don't see it. The only way I can see it is if McDaniels got a head coaching position, and then he took Brady. That would be the
like if he got the Cleveland job.
Yeah,
but that's
Brady ain't going to Cleveland. Come on, Brady ain't going to Cleveland.
If Josh McDaniels gets the Cleveland job and the Patriots don't,
come on, man.
And he wants to play.
Why would you want to go that cesspool?
Because, like Herman said, you're 42, Marcus. That's like you're 42 years old. That's like you going now at 46 years old and speaking English all the time. Inside, you want to just start learning to speak Spanish.
Yeah,
dude.
In 1 year, you want to move to Spain and speak fluent Spanish. You move to Spain, you gonna live there.
And there's no way I'm going to Cleveland.
Exactly.
Wait a minute, they already got a quarterback.
Yeah,
right,
they do.
But
they do.
I mean,
but he ain't
Tom
Brady.
Nothing. Yeah, he
ain't Tom Brady. You think the Cleveland fans would be mad if you put bench Baker for Tom Brady?
Probably
but
not.
But like Herman said, I can't picture him or see any scenario where that guy is playing for a different team but the Patriots. The only issue that I see going on is that Belichick has ultimate control over player personnel. So if he doesn't want Brady and
he doesn't want Brady,
Kraft, yeah, well, he obviously doesn't. But I mean, if he doesn't want to re-sign Brady to any type of deal, and Kraft does, Belichick could get out of his contract. So who would you choose?
You would choose Belichick,
right? Yeah, I would choose Belichick.
But I don't know, Marcus. Real quick, you kind of stole some of thunder, but I kind of agree with you on that one, Marcus, because I watched Brady when he played this year. I seen him drop a fumble, drop the ball, and he been down like an old man, had to use two hands to pick the ball up, come back up. I don't think the New England had the talent around him to overcome a lot of the stuff he had this year. LA has players out there around him. They have talent out there with around.
Yeah, but y'all act like this
plus,
is just plug
plus,
you can't just drop
plus,
and be successful.
But you can plug talent into their system.
His TB12 company is out there in LA. The other thing is the Chargers.
He has a home in LA. He has a home in LA.
He does.
And the Chargers don't really have a fan base. They got to sell tickets. What else?
Yeah. Oh, they would definitely sell tickets if they
sell tickets with Brady.
I just don't see it.
So I kind of like that too.
And like you said, the biggest thing that everybody is saying the reason of the Patriots' demise this year was because they lost their center and they lost their fullback.
It's easier to plug in the talent into New England than it is for Brady to go somewhere else. So if he can't play for New England, he will retire, in my opinion.
All right, we're gonna move on because we are running out of time. Y'all been talking a lot. All right, let's get into this playoff hunt going on this week. Saturday. We have how you know I was gonna do that? First game. Yeah, but maybe I didn't want to do it that way. Minnesota Vikings against the San Francisco 49ers.
I go ahead and start this one.
What do they play? What's the name of their park? It's not Candlestick.
Something.
Anyway, the
Qualcomm.
San Francisco Qualcomm. No, it ain't Qualcomm. No, that was Chargers.
Levi.
Levi. It is Levi. Good job.
It's probably
The Vegas is with the Niners on this one, giving up a touchdown in this one. So since Marcus is so enthusiastic, go ahead.
So I got 2 words for this game.
Oh, real quick, Morty said Brady at Cleveland. Go ahead, Marcus.
I got 2 words for this game. Kirk Cousins. That's all I got to say.
You said that last week.
I know. I'm saying it again this week.
You're going to keep saying it until they don't win the Super Bowl, right?
San Francisco for the win. Not even a game.
If they're going to win the Super Bowl, they're going to be like next year. Herman, who you think's going to win this one?
I'm going with the 49ers. I'm not doubting them.
Marcus, you did pick the Vikings, right?
Yeah. I picked the 49ers.
You said Kirk Cousins.
I said I'm picking the 49ers.
Oh,
that's
okay.
why they're going to lose because Kirk Cousins.
Yeah. Go ahead, I'm going with the 49ers. Adam Thielen hurt his ankle in practice Wednesday. Stephon Diggs is sick. They're going to have a good run game, but it's hard to run on the 49ers. That 49ers front four, it can't. It's just they're unstoppable. I'm going with the 49ers.
I'm with Herman. I like the 49ers in this one. Main reason I like it too is because they've been waiting a week. They were home. The Vikings just came off that long, emotional win over the Saints in overtime. I think it's just too much to overcome for a team in a week. Give me the 49ers. Mark.
Let me see.
Oh!
I think it's unanimous. We all take the 49ers.
Damn.
Vikings barely made it out of New Orleans.
You expected that. You didn't expect it to be no blowout.
That's what I said. They barely made it out of New Orleans.
Because you didn't expect them to win in the first place, though.
No, I didn't. That's what I'm saying. They're not going to win this game. The 49ers pass defense ranks like 7th in completions, 7th in pass defense. I'm taking the 49ers in this one, though.
Yeah, like Herman said, when you heard about Thielen and that ankle, and then Diggs not playing. Whew. All right, next game we're going to go.
Beetle pick the Vikings. I don't know what that means, but yeah.
X-Skin Slugger Fest.
You must be talking about Kyle Shanahan.
He says, "Give me the hat." He's picking the Vikings.
Oh, we got a long one. Oh, let's hear you, Calhoun.
Okay.
First of all, let me say this to the fifth Beatles: don't you ever pick against me again, okay? Don't you ever pick Kirk Cousins again?
Last week he was mad because he was picking all his picks, wasn't he?
All right, next game we got going on Saturday are the Tennessee Titans against the Baltimore Ravens. The Baltimore Ravens did end up with the best record in the NFL. Did have a bye. They're giving up 9.5 to the Titans. I don't think we're going to talk a lot about this one. What would you say, Marcus? Kirk Cousins? I got Lamar Jackson. Give me the Ravens. Who you got, Mark?
This one, the Ravens bringing a top ranked running attack. Derek ran real good last week, but I don't think I can see him doing this week. I'm taking the Ravens also.
Yeah, I'm going with the Ravens. The Texans, the Titans, they have that run game with Mark Henry, but
Derrick Henry.
Mark Henry.
Watched too much, right? But the Ravens, they got that quarterback, Lamar Jackson, and they have a running back.
Although, what's the name? He didn't practice, but they said that
he's going to play. They're not going to be able to. It's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be closer, a lot closer than people think.
Yeah,
it's not going to be a blowout.
I do. I think
it's not going to be a blowout because the Titans' defense is pretty good. And Mike Vrabel, he's good.
Yeah, he is.
So I'm going to go with the Ravens, though. I'm not going to doubt the Ravens.
All right, Marcus, the lone hat is yours.
Well, I'm just going to say, this is probably going to be the quickest game of football ever due to all the running that's going to be going on.
The clock is going.
This game will be over like in 2.5 hours. I'm picking the Ravens, of course. The Titans, they managed to pull out against the Patriots, but I don't see them repeating that against the Ravens. To me, it might be a close game, but I don't see anybody picking the Titans over the Ravens. I'm picking the Ravens.
All right. So the first Sunday game we're going to have is the Texans traveling to.
Hold on. Can you read what Fifth People just said? It's real nonsense.
What if you see a Jackson? Whoa! We can't say that, sir.
Say it.
No, sir. All right. What if we see a Jackson injury in RG3 versus Cousins in Miami? So he's predicting Baltimore with RG3 at the helm and Kirk Cousins.
A classic.
I guarantee you.
You know what that be? You know what that's going? You know what that's going to be?
You like that bowl?
No, you know that's going to be? That's going to be that's going to be third string quarterback playing because RG3 would be hurt too.
Yeah, you're right.
That is
RG3 wouldn't make it to the Super Bowl. So who's the next one they got on the ring?
That's hilarious, bro. Y'all got to admit that's
applause. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna move on to the Sunday game. We got the Texans traveling to the Chiefs. Another 9.5 point difference that the Chiefs are giving up in this game. Kansas City was 12-4, got the bye. Texans just finished beating Buffalo in a close one to advance on. So we're gonna let Herman start this one off. Who do you got?
I got the Chiefs on this one. It's gonna be a blowout, not even close.
Wow, give me a score.
42 to
Jesus.
42 to 17.
Jesus. Marcus, how do you feel about your boy?
Well,
both your quarterbacks. Woo!
Yeah.
Now, and just for the record, too, Texans did beat Kansas City in the regular season.
Oh, but let me look. Just remember, Buffalo put up 16 on them. and didn't score again. What?
The whole second half, right?
Yeah.
So I know Kansas City can play at least double that. So I'm gonna throw in an extra 10.
But this is a game I hate to pick. Like you just said, this is two of my favorite quarterbacks in the league. I don't know if it's gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be a blowout. I think it'll be a pretty good game. But once again, I'm going to talk about the Houston Texans coaching. I think the coaching staff for the Chiefs is much better than the coaching staff for the Texans. It's going to show. And the Texans really, they can't afford to get out to a slow start like it did last week. They can't afford to wait a whole half before they decide to turn things around and start scoring some points. Not with Kansas City, so I'm going to pick Kansas City.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you guys. I'm going to go with the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't think it's going to be a blowout either, Marcus. Kansas City, though, it has been lighted up. The last few weeks, they hadn't been. Mahomes hadn't been Mahomes really since he came back from that injury. But they've still been winning. The defense has stepped it up a lot.
Yeah, much improved.
Which is much improved. Yeah, exactly. So I think that's part of the key too. We'll see how much better Watt is with another game under his belt, coming back from that big injury. But I just Kansas City has too much firepower. Like Herman said, they're going to win. But I don't see 42 points. I see maybe like 31.
Can I say one more thing?
Sure.
Andy Reid is 17-3 coming out of the bye.
He lost those 3 to the Cowboys.
Probably.
Did he really?
No, I did. All right, Marcus. Bart, go ahead and round us out.
Like you said, week 6, the Titans won a game 31-24 by running the ball in Kansas City Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs can't really stop the run. With that said, Kansas City is getting another weapon back they didn't have in that game, which was Sam Watson. Didn't have Sammy Watkins that game.
The Texans don't run the ball either. You think of the Titans?
They run it sometimes.
They don't really run the ball.
Well, they rushed for 100 yards last game that they played with. But with that, I'm still taking the Chiefs. I don't think.
And Watson.
I don't think they're gonna be overtake the Chiefs.
Blowout, right? Blowout. Yeah, blowout.
Chiefs gonna win this.
Big or just win it?
They're gonna win it.
Score
28-14.
There we go. That's more real. It's 42. This guy over here.
42.
All right, so the fourth and final game Sunday evening is going to be the Seattle Seahawks traveling to Lambeau Field. The Packers
it's going to be snowing, too.
It is supposed to be cold.
It's going to be snowing.
Okay, it has to be cold to snow.
Yeah, the snow is.
Okay, snow.
Snow is.
Fine, it's going to snow. You have to, because it's cold, it snows. The Packers are giving up 4 in this particular one. What? Oh. Yes, Jenny, we are ready for Vegas. I thought they said Jenny wants to go to Vegas.
What?
So we're going to let Marcus start us off on this one, Marcus. Who are you picking? Russell or...
This to me, this is probably the hardest game to pick.
You just said that about the other game.
No, I think you say it doesn't.
Oh, because of your coaching. Go ahead.
Yeah. To me, it's gonna be hard. It's I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and go with the home team, pick the Packers only because they're playing at home. I really like to see Russell make it to the conference championship again, but something tells me Packers are going to pull this one out.
Perfect.
Yeah, I'm going with the Packers. Packers at home in the playoffs, hard to beat. That's their element, even with the snowing. And seeing how Seattle struggled with a depleted Philadelphia, I mean, the Packers aren't hurting. So, and their offense was really starting to hit a stride. I'm not going to say this was going to be a blowout, but Packers will win decisively.
Mark.
I mean, Russell Wilson carried the team last week. This game, man, you got 2 of the best 2 sack duos out there. Zendarius Smith and what's Preston Smith?
Who did Preston Smith used to play for?
Preston Smith played for Washington Redskins.
Oh, okay.
You knew that already, Brian.
Did I?
Yes, you did.
I just needed a refresher.
Zendarius used to play with the Raiders. So, I mean, with the Ravens. I'm sorry, with the Ravens. But with that, I mean, Wilson's gonna be running for his life. Hey man, I think it ends this time. We'll take the Packers. You know, we chose all the home teams here.
We sure did because I agree with you guys.
And they all the top
going with
seeds.
the
They
Packers.
also all the top seeds.
They are all, and they all rested last week. And the biggest thing, like you were saying, is that like Herman said, the Seattle Seahawks offense was barely. I mean, they had maybe 4 good plays in that game against Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And like Mark was saying, I mean, they couldn't stop Fletcher Cox. They got 2 big dudes over there that's going to be coming after Russell Wilson. If you shut down Lockett, they aren't really running the ball like they used to. And I think that Rodgers will get out the pocket. He'll make time. He'll do some spectacular passes. They'll score enough points to win this game. I don't really think it'd be a close game either. I think the Seahawks are done for the season, but give me the Packers.
And the lone wolf will be the 5th Beatle once again. He says the Seahawks. Russell emerges and Packers go down.
Hey, we want to see
Is
you.
Jenny pretending to be Mark pretending to be Maury and making these picks?
We want to see you on the show wearing this hat more.
You know, next week you gotta make a guest appearance.
Yeah,
You be wearing that joint twice. Matter of fact, we're gonna go on. We're gonna go live to his house.
That's a brilliant idea. We can do it.
That's what you can wear the hat.
That's brilliant.
All right, guys, we really appreciate you joining us. We had a very good time having this conversation with you. Marcus, get us out of here.
Before we leave, I want to encourage everyone to like, share, and subscribe. Like the channel, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Help us get these subscribers up. And then Brian?
And again, follow us on @DelayofGame3. We do a lot of Twitter. You can follow us. We can tweet. You can do live tweets on the show.
So we see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Peace. We out.
Peace. Were you checking the Twitter feed?